Hello. Tick. Ready? Okay. So our last topic was Supreme Court issues notice to center on PIL, public interest litigation, challenging provisions of digital personal data protection laws. What is PIL? Public interest litigation. Who was the first judge related to the PIL? The judge name associated with the PIL, who allowed PIL to file. Justice Chandrachud was there recently. PN Bhagwati, the Justice Bhagwati. Okay. Okay, just give me a brief that suppose I am residing in Bangalore, my hometown is somewhere in Rajasthan, and suppose a dam is about to get built, and that dam will, due to building of that dam, the microorganism in the river will get suffer. So cause of action is happening over there in the Rajasthan, and I am thus I have a voting rights in the Rajasthan, but I am residing here only. So can the PIL be filed on behalf of me, or can I be a member of PIL? Yes or no? See, I am not being directly affected, but I have a voting rights, and since that area is mine, and I have a house over there, can I be a member of PIL file? Can I be a member of among them who filed the PIL? Can my name be on that litigation paper? Yes or no? Yes, of course. It is irrespective of that who is getting harmed, rather than the people who lives over there and represent the locals. That's it. Okay. So in here we will discuss about the data protection law. So the committee associated with that, the recommendation committee was associated with this data protection law was, what was it? BN Shri Krishnan committee. Okay. Why data protection laws are mandatory in the country like India? Why the necessity of these data protection laws? Because as the industry, as the country is transforming into its digitalization phase, should be there any data protection law? Yes, of course. Because our data is because there was a term name, the data is equally important as the crude oil is. 2 or 6 months back, there was a cyber attack in the in the AIMS, All India Institute of Medical Science. Why was there cyber attack happened in the AIMS? Just to steal the medical data of the Indian citizens, that what kind of illness they are suffering from majorly, whether it is type 2 diabetes, type 1 diabetes, what Indian people are suffering from mainly. So basically China has done that cyber attack just to understand the demographic dividends, the older age person and all. So how this is the importance the data could be. So BN Shri Krishnan committee passed some recommendations with regards to the data protection laws. Can we say Aadhaar falls under some digital record kind of thing? Yes, there is a barcode on Aadhaar now. Can we say PAN card? PAN card is attached at multiple login portal. No? For example, if I have to file GST, income tax return, I must carry a valid PAN card. Yes? Or can we say voter ID is a digital document? Can voter ID be a digital document? Can be. Driving license? Yes. So, and you must have heard about there is a portal called DigiLocker. Fine. So you can get all the documents uploaded here. Okay. Alignment से बिगड़ गया क्या? Continue ना? Okay, ठीक है. So when I was coming to the Bangalore, I showed my photocopy of Aadhaar card. It was colored. So the security personnel did not let me in. Why? Because he said, sir, this is not the original document. Rather, you can show me your original documents. You want to show online, you can use this DigiLocker app. I'll accept it. So somehow I opened the DigiLocker app and I showed my driving license to him. It's already been uploaded here. It was already been uploaded there. I personally did not upload that. Okay, and there is one unique student ID. Unique student ID. It is a 9 or 16 digit number, which is generated. Unique student ID. So these all documents are digital. So when India is in transition of digitalization, this data protection law becomes quite important. Mark this B.N. Shri Krishnan committee. Write in the copy what were the recommendations of B.N. Shri Krishnan committee. But the controversy is that India got this data protection law right after the Europe GDPR. If you read that Europe GDPR, that Europe's general data protection law, that is exactly what Indian data protection law is. Hardly some line changes. It is an exact cut copy of Europe's GDPR. And the same law carries forward in the Indian digital protection law as well, data protection law as well. The same flaws came up with. Okay. Do we use WhatsApp? There is one option, end-to-end encryption. What is that? That simply means if I typed a message to my known person, for example, I typed a message that, okay, I am coming. So that message will convert into a hash code or you can say some mechanical language. So some intermediary sitting in between and tracing my phone cannot read that message. For example, suppose this WhatsApp 1 and WhatsApp 2, I need to send a message, hi. Okay. Or some valuable information like my PIN code, like my wallet PIN. So when this message travels from one terminal to another terminal, when I use this end-to-end encryption, this will prevent the penetration of a third person, which we call in general term the hacker. So you cannot fetch this message or the valuable information. Some 0, 1, 3, 2 or some, and I convert to some hash at the rate. Okay. Like this, and the end of by receiving at the terminal 2, again this message deciphered into its original form. Why? So this is how end-to-end encryption works. But the problem with the WhatsApp is related is what? That server. You know what server is? server is nothing but a carrier. Suppose I uploaded a photo on my on WhatsApp, fine. So where will it get stored? In my cloud account, and cloud account is stored where? On the server itself. And where this server is being held? Do India have sufficient server storage capacity? See, servers are nothing but huge CPUs which requires separate zone or separate space. Okay? Do India have sufficient space enough to build this server facility? No. That's the major issue, because India's data is not being stored in the India. It is, the server rooms are outside India. That's the major issue with this data protection bill. And also there's a term named data localization. What is that? Data localization. We'll study this, okay? So, among the key relief sought, the petitioners have urged the court to restore the original section of 8(1) subsection J of RTI Act along with its provision with the retrospective effect from the November 13, 25. So the problem here was that data protection law, this DPL, it's having certain loopholes. How? Because because this is not applicable in some manner on the government. Let's suppose if I want an information about the IB, that is okay. That is okay if it is they are preventing, that is. But if I want a certain information on the Prime Minister, can I get it via RTI? No. If I want to get a certain information about the President of India, can I get it? No. But on the vice versa, government can, in the name of public interest, can fetch any individual's data. And the bill says that once you enter your data, it will be destroyed after a certain duration. Then how comes this be possible? Are you getting my point? The government in the bill has said that we will destroy the data after some time when it is of no use. But what about that if any government officials require any specific persons or any individual's data, that what is his blood group, what is the residential address of that individual? So here is the beneficiary data muster rolls, social audits record and similar records affecting rights of citizen under Article 21 of the Constitution. So for example, you know this Ayushman card? We all know, na? So there is one technical advancement that retinal scan option is there. Retinal scan, our eye, this retinal scan. So without our retina scan, we cannot access this Ayushman card. Or even you must have seen in some state the Aadhaar card also. It requires our thumbprint and our retina scan in case of thumbprints are not available. So Ayushman card holders, they are considered as beneficiary data in the name of the government scheme. Fine. Social audit records and similar records affecting rights of citizens. So basically what this article is telling about, that those beneficiaries getting the advantage of the government schemes, what the government is doing with their data, they are not even destroying it. It should be destroyed after some time, but this is not exactly happening. It is still on the server. Another thing. Further, the plea calls for direction restraining authorities from dismantling, restricting the averaging access to the information currently provided through transparency and 41 accountability portals, including this Jan Suchna portal. This Jan Suchna portal is a complaint grievance redressal portal on which an individual call and tell about himself, his address and something, his ID card. So this Jan Suchna portal is also not destroying or surpassing this data information. So that this plea is exactly against the government. That what the government is doing with data in the name of beneficiary social audits and this Jan Suchna portal. For example, I called at the CM house and I asked for the help that my land size is that, and the Patwari is not doing his proper job, the Tehsildar is not coming to my home. So all these data has been recorded and it is used for their individual means. This what this plea says. Got that? Okay. Did you read that this Europe GDPR? The draft of this GDPR, General Data Protection Law of Europe. If you read it, you will find it is copy paste with this. Okay, next slide we are heading towards. Okay, key loopholes weakness. Wide government exemptions. Government can bypass most provision in the name of national security and public order. Similarly, I ask you the same question, that when a national park can be de-notified, in the name of public order, anything could be done. Okay? Risk enables mass surveillance without strong checks. If you visit China, there are n number of CCTVs cameras being installed in every street. The Chinese government know each and every minute details about their citizens. Even those cameras can scan retina as well. Okay. So China, being a communist state, do such thing. Fine. Number second, weak user rights compared to European Union. Limited rights versus General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR. No strong right to data portability or detailed profiling restrictions. Users have less control over their own data. For example, if I feed my data to somewhere and now I want to extract that, I have been prohibited. Okay. No independent regulators, strong enough data protection board is controlled by the government. So there's always been a demand to make the data protection board as an autonomous self-functioning body. Since this works under the subordination of the government, can the government misuse it? Of course. Lacks full independence like court or constitutional bodies, risk of bias in enforcement. See, collecting data is not a new idea. For example, this Janaganna, the population census. Why population census being conducted? To know the population density, no? If any place X, if the population reaches more than 10 lakh, a new MLA or a new Lok Sabha or state assembly seat should be created to govern them. So this is how the population census is being done. But collecting this population census, it doesn't involve the core, the individual's information, except name and address. It doesn't contain the blood group or the sensitive information which we surpass via chats. We upload our photos and all. So there's one employee in the US-based company. He said, whatever we post on the WhatsApp it never gets deleted. It's remain the same as it is. Whether you delete it from your phone or somewhere, but it always prevails, it always exists on the server itself. It's never get deleted. Okay. His name was Edward Snowden, that guy name. Okay, profiling restrictions we have done. Weak penalty enforcement in practice. High penalties exist on paper, but enforcement capacity is unclear. Risk law becomes symbolic, not effective. That same similar thing is happening all over. No clear data localization requirement. Data can be transferred outside India with conditions. Let's suppose you must have heard about the NIA, National Investigation Agency. So for example, if a tourist come to India and he committed some terrorist activity, his data can be transferred. Let's suppose a UK citizen come and he commits some random terrorist activities, he indulged into that. Can an Indian government pass his data to his parent country? Yes, that is fine. But what about the data localization? It's talking about the servers to localize the data, and also the government can use this data as for the individual use and transfer it with conditions. That is the biggest setback in this bill. Risk foreign access to Indian data, weak jurisdictional control. Jurisdictional control in the sense under the see, just like what a sovereign country is all about. To prevent, for example, China, it's using his own GPS, own YouTube, own searching engine like Google. And are we sovereign in terms of these technical advancement? Like we still use Google Maps. We are heavily dependent on the US technology base, right? So our data is already been fed to the Google Maps. The Google Maps knows the exact street, the shortest route, and so on. What does this mean in practice? Your primary database where transaction record, user profiles, KYC document, and wallet balance live. Cross-border data transfer are permitted under the Data Protection DPDP Act to countries notified by the central government. For example, our friendly country is what? Who is our friendly country? India's friendly countries. Sri Lanka. Okay, Sri Lanka. Nepal. Bhutan. And can we say Canada is friendly country? No. Canada is okay, but not that much. Russia. Most friendly country of India. Okay. South Korea. So India can transfer, it is clearly written here, that cross-border data transfer are permitted under this act, notified by the central government. But financial data governed by RBI's payment storage rules faces stricter constraint. Our all net banking passwords, our UPI pin has been managed by whom? These local apps, PhonePe. And these local apps, PhonePe is managed by which authority? RBI. And RBI is managed by which ministry? Finance Ministry. Very good. Okay. So this financial data is a bit more sensitive. The Digital Personal Data Protection Rules 25 provides for the formation and governance of Data Protection Board of India. So Data Protection Board works under whose subordination? Central government, no? Obviously. Which is responsible for the grievance redressal, compliance and enforcement under the regime. Under DPDP Act 2023 and its Rule 25, Data Protection Board of India is created. Its role, handle complaints, grievance redressal. Did you ever call on this Data Protection Board portal? No? Okay. ensure companies follow rules, take actions if violation happens. Did any company face any such violation of data breach? When we go to some hotel or when we go into some random exam, for example, if you go to appear for this government exam, what they ask for? Aadhaar card? Did they ever say, no, it's okay, don't show me your Aadhaar, just show me any alternate document, any alternate ID card? No. They strictly ask for the Aadhaar card. But in the Aadhaar Act judgment, it was prohibited that Aadhaar is not mandatory to show in hotels, whether you are appearing for the government exam or somewhere. Is Aadhaar card be considered as a national ID? No. It is just what Aadhaar is actually. It is a basic level identity, but it does not prove that whether you are a citizen or not. Let's suppose I am a citizen of India. Which document proves that? My Aadhaar card? No. Passport? Yes. My voter ID? Yes. But not Aadhaar. Okay. The DPDP Rules 25 requires all data fiduciaries to obtain clear, specific and standalone consent from individuals before processing their personal data. That is, the law says companies, data fiduciaries must take clear and specific consent. Consent must be separate, not hidden in long-term conditions. For example, you log in to some portal or you say you try to access some open source services. Let's say, do you know this CodePen website? No. Okay. Give me an example of any website which requires your data, your name, full address. Gmail. Yes, Gmail can be there. But what about the companies? For example, you go for an insurance company, just like any like Policy Bazaar or any other. You go there, you fulfill your address proof, you fulfill your complete name, your alternate address, alternate contact number. So, does the company has a right to use that data for their own use? No. Consent should be there. So data fiduciaries here are not but the private companies, LIC, okay. So this rules clearly emphasize on that the private players, the fiduciaries cannot use their data, cannot misuse their data without their consent. Fine? Okay, consider the following statement regarding the Digital Personal Data Protection Rule, DPDP 25. This is a previous year UPSC question. Attempted. Number 1, rules allow the formation of the Data Protection Board of India. The rules allow the formation of the Data Protection Board of India, DPBI. Is that correct? See, read it again. Regarding the digital, it is simply asking what has been written in this bill, in this rule, okay. The rules allow the formation of Data Protection Board. Data Protection Board is there, na, working under whose subordination? Central government, na. Statement 2, the rules require all data fiduciaries to obtain clear, specific and standalone consent from individuals before processing their personal data. Data fiduciaries here means the private companies. So which statement we can mark the correct? C, both 1 and 2. Okay. All right, any problem, any doubt in data protection law? Do read about this B.N. Sri Krishnan committee recommendation. Huh? This is important for the exam. This data localization and also right to delete. Right to delete is also there. This was recently in news, the right to delete. Okay. Any doubt? Also write about what is hashing. H-A-S-H-I-N-G, hashing. I haven't included that in the slide. The hashing techniques, yes. With regards to this data protection. Okay, hashing you know? No, okay, hash. This hash codes and all. It requires an encryption, hashing. Because UPSC has asked in the previous year question, the hashing methods. Okay, what is CRISPR? Clustered, regularly interspaced, short palindromic repeats. Don't bother about its name. This current affairs is very important because twice UPSC has asked on the same topic, 2 times. Simple, it's like cut, copy, paste for our genes. Genes defines what? Our eye color, our height, everything defined by the genes. So we acquired genes from whom? Our parents only. Simple as that. So genes are genetic code of individual. Okay. What is the difference between gene and DNA? Gene is a part of DNA. Deoxyribose nucleic acid. Okay. So we will understand this CRISPR technology in the layman terms. Okay. As it is written here, cut, copy, paste. For example, a person X having a disease, a genetic disease, leukemia. So it's obviously the person's X having genetic disease, it will automatically transfer into whom? His child. Okay. There is a higher chance that his child will be suffered from the same disease, leukemia. So now what option X have? What alternate X has? Can he go for this CRISPR-Cas9 method? Yes, because CRISPR-Cas9 is simply act as a scissor. It will remove that specific DNA, that specific genetic information stored about which having this leukemia. They will simply cut from there and they will add some alternate to this. It sounds like crazy, but it actually happens. In nowadays, we can decide the embryo's eye color, the embryo's height by infusing various other genetic material. Okay. So this is a simple. This is what we have understood in the layman terms. Okay, CRISPR associated with the protein 9. So its name is being written as Cas9. Okay, wait. What information does RNA stores? Only? Does RNA stores any genetic information? No? What is the use of mRNA, messenger RNA? It sends messages. Whenever an alien microorganism or any alien kind of thing enter our body, which creates an unfavorable environment, so mRNA instantly send message to whom? Who is the immunity indicator? Yes. T cells. Okay, and who provide the safeguards if any alien organism enters our body? Do we have white blood cell? WBC? T cells is fine, it's actually okay. It's the right answer, but also along with WBC, white blood cells. Where are the white blood cells present? Any idea? WBC we know ना, no issue ना, पता है ना, ठीक है, okay. Any doubt? This CRISPR-Cas9? Fine. We'll study that in further. How does it work? Scientists use CRISPR-like molecular scissor. It can cut a specific part of DNA. If I need to cut this RNA, can this CRISPR technology be used? DNA is what? We can say this is DNA and RNA, single helix. What is the difference between DNA and RNA? Very basic question, class 10th. We all know that DNA contains our genetic information. These are what called? Genes normally. They are in combination of A, T, G, C. Huh? But what about the RNA? It contains? Yeah, that is fine. It contains single helical structure. But what actually use of this RNA? Write it down. Does RNA contain any genetic information? Or it is just for the namesake? Okay, if I come to the base part, let's suppose this is DNA. Okay, this is genes part of. Now tell me where the chromosome lie. Very basic level question, class 10th. In genes. How many pair? 23 pair. Sure? Okay. 23 pair. What if in case if one pair gets mismatched? Yes? क्या होगा एक pair mismatch हो जाए तो? What will happen if single pair gets mismatched? If the number is 24 or 22, what may happen? Down syndrome. Did you hear about this Down syndrome? So if 23 pairs, one gets mismatch, either it becomes 24 or 22. This kind of this Down syndrome can happen. Okay, Down syndrome is nothing but the immature growth of a cell, of an embryo. Okay, doubt? Clear? Huh? Okay. Replace or fix it with a correct one. Think editing a spelling mistake in a Word document. So now in the layman terms, we have understood what CRISPR-Cas9 technology is all about. Can it cut the cancer cell? Can it cure cancer cells? Okay, and can it cure the HIV virus? Really? Okay. You are talking about embryo or an adult? Adult? Sure? पक्का? Okay. ठीक है, देखते हैं, आगे देखते हैं. Okay. Why it is useful to treat diseases, genetic disorders like sickle cell thalassemia. Sickle cell thalassemia is a genetic inherited blood disorder caused by inheriting a sickle cell gene HBS from the one parent and beta thalassemia gene from the other. So can CRISPR-Cas, for example, the cancer cell get rise to the level of cancer cell, they spread throughout the body. Now can CRISPR-Cas9 help us? Yes, initial stage. So my point is, if an adult is having this thalassemia, malformed red blood cell, can this CRISPR-Cas9 help it? Of course, yes, because that is not in vast numbers. But what if in case the HIV virus target this? Can CRISPR-Cas9 cut down the virus? This cut down this. This actually works on the cell, na? Cutting that specific this genetic information. How about the virus? Can this CRISPR-Cas9 fix the problem with virus also? It is can it be implemented on virus as well? Write it down. Because there is a difference between cell and virus, no? Bacteria and virus they are not the same, because virus produces multiple different copies every time. That's why it is very difficult to target this. Okay. So now answer me, can CRISPR-Cas9 treat this virus infection, or if the virus enters into the genetic material of our body, infected with the virus? Any guesses? No? Got confused, huh? Okay, for the time being, just mark it down that this is not implemented on this virus part, because it creates multiple different copies within very short time. Suppose a microscope identify a virus as an XYZ. Now the medical team starts building specific drug to treat this XYZ virus. Now instantly this virus mutate and it immediately creates what? XXX copy. So previously the scientists made the drug for XYZ, now it mutated to the XXX. So this is the problem related with the virus. So can CRISPR-Cas9, this molecular scissor, act on this? No, because it is untraceable. Okay? You understand, no? This is a biological term. Okay. If any problem, just come to me in the class, and then I will be in the library. Okay? Thalassemia is what? It is a genetic disease. Yes. Malformed of the red blood cell. This is WBC, platelets, and RBC. Mainly attack on RBC only, okay. Improves crop, more yield, pest resistant, medical research, understanding how disease work. That is all, that is comes under the genome editing part, okay. Okay, please solve it with reference to the CRISPR-Cas9. A gene editing method, consider the following statements. Number 1, it edits genes by cutting the desired DNA and allowing natural DNA repair process to take over. Can be true. Number 2, this technology works at extremely high temperatures. Correct. Yeah, not full DNA. Yeah, that's true. Cutting the desired DNA. Chain is okay. Yeah. Allowing natural DNA repair. Okay. I got your question. You mean to say if that molecular scissor cut the specific part, then how this natural DNA repair process will take place? Correct, na? Okay. Fine. Number 2, technology worked at extremely high temperatures. No. Sounds unusual. Okay, so we know that this statement 2 is false. But come to this, allowing natural DNA repair process to take over. For example, if I cut that specific portion, can I attach? I mean, can the CRISPR-Cas9 technology attach some random DNA to it? Okay, let's understand with the basic. Suppose I need a blood supply. I go to blood bank. Can I purchase any random blood? No. Until it matches my blood group. So it can be in the similar case, if the matched DNA has been found or they repair it artificially, then the further process will be as a natural DNA repair. So yes, I got your doubt. You are right that this will no longer be the natural DNA repair process. That will be the artificial one. But here in this question, the correct option we have to mark the one only. The commission has marked the option number 1 would be the correct. Why? Because they are not going deeper into that sense. They are just asking at the upper layer only. Okay. Any problem with this question? This is relatable, no? Yes, of course, it will be replaced by another. See, what Cas9 is actually doing is cutting that specific part, and in replace to that, if we are, let's say, this specific part has been cutted down and kept it here. So now that specific part, the vacuum, the empty space is there. So somehow I will have to replace it with some another DNA, because this cannot be exist like this, na? This is incomplete. So somehow I will have to, either I have to manage this by artificial gene therapy or genome editing method, or we can use the matched DNA. Our sister, our brothers and parents, we can use their healthy DNA as well, not the corrupt one. Okay. Done? Hmm. Hmm. Uh-huh. We have to replace with the stem cells. Stem cell. We'll study. Okay. Have you studied that in science and tech about the stem cells? What are they? Suppose I need. Okay, we'll study in the stem cell. I'll brief you in detail. Cancerous cell can be replaced by the stem cell. Okay, this is just a filter out method. Okay. With regards to CRISPR-Cas9, any sort of doubt? है? नहीं है? है? Okay. समझ आ रहा है ना? Are you able to understand ना? Fine. Any problem? Come to me. I'm there only. 2019. What is the Cas9 protein that is often mentioned in the news? Choose only one. Which is most suitable? Because sometimes it happens, na? All the statements are correct. But we have to choose the most suitable one. So what it could be? Why not B? I mean, why not 2? It is not a biosensor. 3, gene. Yeah. It doesn't make a plant pest resistant. Okay. 4th, a herbicidal substance synthesized in genetically modified crops. आ रही ठीक है माइक मैंने दूर कर लिया था. This is quite hectic, huh? पकड़े. More suitable? A. Have you gone through the PYQs? No, not yet. Then how come you easily marking these answer correct? Science and tech done, huh? Okay. Done with the nanotechnology? We'll study. So, can the CRISPR-Cas9 also works on the virus? No. Can CRISPR-Cas9 works on bacteria? Yes. Some part, yeah. Some sort of yes. Okay. Can CRISPR-Cas9 develop an artificial limb? Artificial limb. Suppose my hand got cut from here, and now I want to develop a new hand. Can it do that? Creating a new limbs, developing a natural hand, just like this lizard tail. Once it gets cut, it regrows, no? So Cas9 can do that? No, not at all. Okay. Fine. So majorly it can treat the genetic diseases, anticipated genetic diseases. Fine. Once if the genetic information gets complete, can still be this Cas9 technology help? Let's suppose the embryo is being affected with leukemia. Can Cas9 technology still helps at very initial stage? Yes, it can. Your favorite topic, stem cell. Stem cell are a special cell that can develop into different type of body cells and helps in repairing damaged tissues. So what are the stem cells can be used? It can be, see, a stem cell is nothing but a clay mold. Suppose I am having a clay, I can mold it the way I want. I can use it. So let's suppose I am having stem cells. So I can replace the stem cell with what? cardiac cell, liver, intestine, cultured stem cell, muscle cells, and blood cells. It can be used at anywhere. But can we do cloning using stem cell? What cells are used in cloning? I mean, okay, what is cloning? You have done the science and tech, na? What actually cloning is? Are we the clone of our parents? No, obviously not. So what actually cloning is all about? You must have read about the Dolly the sheep. Dolly, no? The first cloned sheep in the world. So what cell requires for cloning? Stem cell? Think. Can it be a red blood cell? No. WBC? No. Can it be a cell? Stem cell? No. Or can it be an egg, a female egg? Can female egg be used for cloning? You understand what cloning actually is? Let's suppose this is pen. If I want to make the clone of this pen, I will take one cell and I will process it in the lab or somewhere is the suitable environment. And then secondary pen, for example, this has been done or been produced with the same DNA structure and same features. So Dolly was created like this. But my question is, which cell can be used for cloning? Again, egg. No. If we fuse sperm and egg, that will be a cell division. That will not be a cloning. That is, you are talking about this standard method. Cloning is something different. Okay, Google about the somatic cell. Somatic cell. SOMATIC. Somatic cell. Yeah. Correct. So, apart from this sperm and egg, we use somatic cell for cloning. And I wonder that you haven't read about the Dolly the sheep. Yeah, mitochondrial defect. Correct. Mitochondria is there, and what was there? Apart from in the nucleus, what it present? Mitochondria and lysosomes and no idea. Huh? Question. Okay. My question is, what exactly the components present inside a cell? Here, the nucleus. The water is filled. What do we call it? Cytoplasm. Fine. What exactly present inside the nucleus? DNA. And what the other components? Ribosomes, lysosomes, mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum. Now my question is, for example, I am standing like this, okay, for the last 3 to 4 hours. So which component of this cell is constantly providing power to my feet? Mitochondria provide the constant power, but for standing, the extra power is required. For example, if 30 if 40% power is required for my feet and 30% power requires for my for my speaking purpose, so who decide this, that where to carry the energy? Lysosomes, ribosomes. What is the task of endoplasm? Protein synthesis. Okay. But who is the energy carrier? Any guess? Revise, huh? आज revise करना जाके. ठीक है. Tomorrow I'll tell you. Okay, stem cells are special cells that can develop into different type of body cells and help in repairing damaged tissue. This is very basis. Okay. Key features: self-renewal, can divide and make more stem cells, differentiation can become muscle cell, nerve and blood. Stem cells possibilities. Stem cell can become any one of the 220 different cell in the body. Can it replace the cancerous cell? Yes. Can it develop an artificial limb? Now my question comes. Can it? Artificially, for example, my finger gets cut from there. Can I regrow it using stem cell? Fully cannot be regrown. Huh? Okay. Okay. Look at here. Kidney is internal organ. Huh? Brain again internal. Lungs, heart, liver. These all are what? Internal. But my finger is what? External. So it is only applicable on internal. Got it? Types of stem cell. Have you covered this in Science and Tech? No. Okay. Embryonic stem cell taken from early stage embryo can become any cell type, pluripotent, very powerful, but ethical issues involved. Why? Let's suppose this is an embryo, okay? The human embryo, you understand, no? Embryo is an initial stage. Embryo and the later stage is what? Zygote. Which comes first? Embryo or zygote? Zygote. Very good. Inner cell mass, ICM. Then comes cell culture. If I culture the cell using the stem cell and develop this embryonic stem cell, it becomes what? It will grow unlimitedly. And in certain and the certain differentiation is also typically in the layman terms. If we talk about, for example, if the embryo itself is what? Damaged. If the embryo is incomplete, if the embryo is suffering from some incurable disease, for example, this Down syndrome or something like that, if it is early detected, can I use stem cells to repair it? Yes, because stem cells are used in the brain, liver, kidney, everywhere, internal organs. Huh? So at the early stage, this embryonic stem cells can be fused. Second, adult stem cell found in bone marrow. What is bone marrow? Bone marrow is responsible for what? Producing for blood. Very good. And can we say the WBC role, is there any WBC role in that bone marrow? Is it related to the new cell generation? If bone marrow is there, can it generate new cells, whether it is WBC and RBC? It can. Yes. You know, I have met up so many persons who were having this incurable disease. I forgot that name, but they were unable to walk. There was a specific name, and the treatment was to replace the bone marrow. The bone marrow replacement therapy. Yeah. That is something multiple kind of thing, multiple disease or something. I'm unable to recall now. Okay, basis difference. Found in body tissue taken from the early stage embryo, bone marrow, blood, etc. Limited can from, okay, just answer me one practical question, this practical or application based question. We do this hair transplant. What is the science behind this hair transplant? For growth, correct. Now see the difference. Found in body tissue, bone marrow, blood, potential limited, can form any certain cell type. This adult one having back issue, oh, it's fine, no? You can have, or okay. Already used in treatments, example bone marrow transplant. Okay, this is quite painful. Embryonic stem cell taken from early stage, very high, can form almost any cell type. Mostly research and experimental therapies. Any doubt with regards to adult and embryonic? This is simple. It is for the early stage. Fuse that stem cell and the problem will be solved. And this adult stem cell, for example, at the adult stage or any later stage, if some part gets damaged, these stem cell can be infused to repair that specific part. Okay? Uses application, medical treatment, blood cancer, leukemia, as we know that it is a genetic disorder. Tissue repair, regenerative medicine, repair damaged organs, but not the external one, okay? Not the limbs. Research, study diseases and test drugs. Fine? Okay, just answer me one simple question again. There was some, you understand what placenta is? Placenta. Inside the placenta, there is some sort of blood is there, na? So the expensive hospital, what they do is they preserve that blood. Why? Because suppose that child who is a newborn at his later stage met with an accident. So to develop an artificial limb, na, that placenta blood comes into the picture. It helps to generate the artificial limb. So nowadays the elite people are doing this. You can even search it on Google as well. Developing the artificial limb. I mean, it's natural only, but it helps to regrow that organ. Yeah. Fine, any doubt? Okay. Stem cells, CRISPR, difference between stem cell and CRISPR. Special cell that can become different body cell, tool to edit gene. So which comes first, CRISPR or stem cell? If I want to use this technology, which technology comes first? CRISPR, no, obviously. Because stem cell come into the picture when the embryo is developed and organs are developed as well. We have studied, no, the adult one and at the end this embryo one. Okay. Core idea: replace or regenerate damaged cells. Everybody knows that. Fix or modify gene causing the problem. CRISPR. Cell-based therapy. And whether CRISPR is gene level editing, which is micro CRISPR or stem cell CRISPR, which is more complex, CRISPR or stem? More complex, CRISPR. Huh? Repair tissue, example bone marrow and transplant. Correct genetic defect, example faulty genes. Treat leukemia using stem cell transplant. Edit gene causing the sickle cell anemia. Less precise, highly precise. DNA sequence and depends on the cell behavior. Now, difference is crystal clear now? Any sort of confusion? Okay. Any sort of doubt? No? Okay. And what about the cloning technology? Is cloning legally allowed in India? No, it is not. Okay. Somatic cell. Okay. Please attempt the question. With reference to the stem cells and stem cell therapy, consider the following statements. Under this therapy, stem cells are manipulated to specialize into specific types of cell. Attempt this question. It's got cold. It is a non-surgical procedure with no incision of the body. We all know that stem cell therapy is a non-surgical one. There is no kata beat, है ना? कोई कैंची वाला नहीं चलता इसमें. So second is true. How about the first? How about the first? Under this therapy, stem cells are manipulated to specialize into specific type of cells. Can we accept this statement? Yes? Answer would be both 1 and 2. Fine. Have you done the PYQs? No. And how come you are able to answer in one way? Okay. What happened? Okay, nanotech. It's also you have covered in science and tech. Okay, then I will ask. All right, nanotech deals with tiny particles. Everybody knows, nothing rocket science in that. Major application: medicine, nanomedicine, targeted drug delivery. Medicine goes directly to affected cell, cancer cells, right? Less damage to healthy cells. Early disease detection. Now tell me one thing, if our arteries gets blocked, can we use this nanotechnology? Sometimes you have heard that this heart patient, the blockade gets 95% and the stent is being implanted in their arteries. Stent. So if arteries are blocked, for example, let's suppose this is the artery. You understanding now? Able to connect now? Blood is flowing. Now, for example, here it gets a bit choked. Now the passage of blood flow becomes, it squeezes. Fine. Now what nanotechnology can be used? Because the manual method, what the doctor suggests that, sir, please implant the stent. It is a nano device which fix this artery. Suppose this is my artery and I fix this will create a space. This is what? A function of stent. Getting it? So can we say this stent technology falls under the nano one? Is this a part of nanotech? Some sort of, but not fully. Okay? Okay. Early disease detection, fine? Okay. So, but what actually nanotechnology is all about? Is it limited only to the biomedical science, or we can use it in different domains? Healthcare, biomedical, electronics, food products, waste water treatment, biofuel production as well. Okay, what is the name of that bacteria which fixes the nitrogen? Azobacter and rhizobium. Okay. Denitrification, nitrification done, na? These are the core topics which can be asked. But you did not listen the complete question. I was asking about the biotic bacteria. Biotic and abiotic. The abiotic conditions in which this nitrogen fixation is done. Don't, it's okay. When I'll take your current affair class on the environment, I'll tell it. Okay, move ahead. Electronics, smaller, faster and more efficient devices used in chips, smartphones and sensors. What the country name who manufactures this semiconductors? China? Taiwan. China is trying to invade that country. You are already giving that to China before invasion. Wow. Indian citizens. Okay, agriculture. Nano fertilizer, better nutrient absorption. How? Because we are using this nanotech, na? So we can operate on their roots. Fine. Nano pesticide. At present, how the farmers use this pesticide? By carrying that bag and they just spraying that thing, na? This DAP. Less chemical use improves crop yield. So the basic of nanotech is for the targeted delivery. Okay. Nano carrier, genetic material, crop improvement, precision farming, crop grown, stress tolerance, soil health and health. Okay, just give me an answer. Do we have blood in our brain? Yes, obviously. What's the confusion? Okay. When the blood clot happens, it becomes what? Brain hemorrhage. The blood clot. So why we cannot use this nanotech in our brain? With this brain? Any guess? why brain hemorrhage still a challenge? Is there any arteries in our brain? No. Is there any veins in our brain? No. Then instead of this, what inside is our brain is? Neurons, neurological structures, or neurological links. So the question is, why nanotechnology fails to cure that blood clot? Okay, one simple demonstration. This is a big pen, a small one. Can it reach to that tip by inserting that? No, no. So now answer me. Why nanotech is failed with regards to this brain hemorrhage, blood clot happens in the brain? Because, write it down. Not getting the clue, write it down. Or just better Google it now. That why nanotechnology fails to cure the blood clot inside the brain. Got the answer? Oh, okay. See, simple logic is that this neurons now, they are very tiny. They are very small, the way small. Yeah. Because that operation now, that will be very dynamic. Nanotech can be used in this to cure this brain clot, but in most of the cases it fails on practical grounds. Okay. Fine. Ask now. See, exception is not there. I mean, technology is all about the evolving. You must have, if you have done through the PYQs, no? Wait. You must have came across some questions like that. Some plants, some animals can be or can. If you go across some these type of questions, that some animals can, exceptions are always there, whether it is positive or negative. So these the statement starting with the some, it is always true. Always mark this correct. This is the trick. And the secondary style of framing question by UPSC is few. Few animals are, few plants are. This is also true. Another trick, can be, or maybe. Possibility is always there. So I'm not completely denying the fact that nanotechnology cannot cure the blood clot. It can, but with the evolving version. Okay. Done? Any doubt? Note that trick, sum and all, because it will really help you while solving PYQs. Okay, new topic, remote sensing. Science center you are studied? Okay. Remote sensing is all about collecting information about Earth without touching it. The layman terms, without touching it. Observing things from a distance using satellites or drones. Sensing. Remote means I am sitting here. Remote areas kind of thing. Sensing what? Observing from the distance. So now tell me, what technology can be used, or on what technology this radio signal works? Let's suppose I have infrared radiation. I have this infrared radiation. So the basic thing, what infrared waves do is that it goes to it collide with the object and it comes back. The same phenomena works in the this radar system as well. Okay. Whatever the object comes in between this radar system, the waves collide with the object and comes back. It sends a signal that there is a presence of any object. The same phenomena used by the fish, whales, sharks, they all use this phenomena. They send the radio signals inside the water, and those radio signals comes back. Then they get to know that there is some object in between. This is the layman terms is there. Got my point? Okay. What is remote sensing? The drone can be used. Kamikaze drone. From which country? USA. Write down. Kamikaze drone. Kamikaze. It is recently used in this Iran-USA war and Ukraine war as well. Kamikaze. Barak 8 missile, Israel. BrahMos missile, India and Russia. Do India have any supersonic missile? Yes, India has. Does India has any hypersonic missile? Which one? What is the difference between hypersonic and supersonic? Whenever you encounter such these kind of questions, start from the base. That what is hypersonic and what is hypersonic and what is supersonic? Supersonic is simply means it is faster than speed of sound. Supersonic. And hypersonic, it is even faster than that. Okay. So do read about that in which, see, the missile is same, but India has decreased down its speed, and it is measured in what? Mach, MSCH. Okay. Because the question can be coming in the exam, like in the BrahMos missile is a hypersonic range. Okay. Or the BrahMos missile can be of supersonic range. Okay. We have covered this non-proliferation treaty, NPT, CTBT, no first use policy. Done, no? Okay. How does it work? Satellite or sensors send signals like light radiation to the earth, receive reflected signal. These signals are converted into images and data. Taking photos of earth from space and analyzing them. So before Chandrayaan, there was NASA has discovered the ice crystals on the moon. We know that. But do we know the story behind? There was a man from, I think, Karnataka or Tamil Nadu. He observed the picture captured by the Chandrayaan mission 1. And NASA has uploaded that, or he got some pictures from the internet. He sent those pictures first to ISRO, that man. Let's see that there is a highly possibility of availability of water crystals on the moon surface. But the problem is that some random babu or some government employee refused it. That how could random guy be so knowledgeable that guy is telling us that there is a presence of water crystal on the moon. Presence of water crystal on the moon on which side? Darker side or visible, or northern or southern side? Southern side. Why? It is even more cooler. Okay. Story continues. So that man sent a picture to ISRO first, but they ignored. And unfortunately, and then later that same man sent those pictures to NASA. He must have emailed them. So later on, NASA observed those pictures, and they trace the availability of water crystals. Also, they have found this the accidental rover of Chandrayaan 1 over there only. So this is what the story was all about. General one. Okay. So these signals are converted into images data, taking photos of Earth from space and analyzing them. Remote sensing. We know, na? So for example, this electromagnetic spectrum EMR, sensing, getting information of getting data. In the last class we have discussed how GPS signal works. They are not just one satellite, they are two satellites. They create an intersection, and this is how they get the coordinate of this. Okay. So this picture is for a bit more clarity. This is what remote sensing is. Everything is connected into a this grid-like structure. Okay. The main component of this remote sensing is the IR, infrared. Here's weather forecasting, tracking cyclones and floods. How? Because every time when the cyclones, Fani or some other cyclone, tsunami kind of thing happens, the IMD releases the picture that see in the Indian Ocean there is a chance of getting the cyclone is getting formed. How the cyclone is formed? Low and high pressure combined. Fine. Monitoring crops and forest, mapping land use. Okay, just tell me one simple question again. Mapping and monitoring. Can we say that the satellite which is observing this is placed in low Earth orbit? Can we say that? Yes. Agriculture, crop health monitoring, soil moisture analysis. How? Rays gets deeper down, no? I mean, they click the picture like this. So in the red portion, it is showing it can be the dry area. Okay. Fine. So remote sensing satellite are set. Yes. Disaster management, environment, deforestation tracking, climate change monitoring, urban planning. This comprehensive approach, what can remote sensing can do. This remote sensing. observe Earth from the space and collect data without physical contact. How they work? Orbit around the Earth, use sensors to capture image, heat, infrared, radiation signals and data back to the Earth stations. There is a station located in North Pole, Himadri. Himadri, huh? You must have heard about it. This Himadri station. What actually it works? No idea? Okay. There was one mission related to that. I just recall. I'll cover it in a separate lecture. It was for also, that mission was also for the climate change prevention. Okay. Indian remote sensing satellites. Number one is IRS, Indian remote sensing satellite used for agriculture, forestry and land mapping. Cartosat series. Difference between Cartosat and RISAT. Difference is hardly but of the range. Okay. Works in all weather use, radar, high resolution mapping and for urban planning. Resource sat monitors natural resources, as the name suggests. I can share you the PPT, don't worry, okay? Ocean sat, the name suggests. If the question will come, it will be in between the difference between Cartosat and RISAT series. So this Cartosat is for high resolution mapping and urban planning. And RISAT, it uses radar as well. Okay. Fine. Now, your favorite topics, places in news. Open the atlas, please. If I ask you to arrange these islands from east to west, then Quashim Island, Kish, Lawan, another. Bandar of Abbas is very important. Bandar and Abbas and Bandar of Abbas and Bandar of Anzali. Both are important ports. Why? Because these ports contribute towards the INSTC corridor, International North-South Transport Corridor, Bandar Abbas. Bandar means not that monkey. It is Bandar. Bandar means Bandargah, which simply means port. Okay. Fujairah, Oman, Dubai, Abu Dhabi and the Persian Gulf. You can mark the location from here as well. And in the last class we had discussed the alternate trade route. This is one trade route. And the alternate to this is what? Here. Fine. Chabahar port is here only. This Chabahar and Gwadar, parallel to this. This is the area of conflict. Okay. Fine. Somaliland. Can you see this this little space, this little state, Djibouti. Almost every country has military base over here. Almost every country. UK, US, France, even China has a military base in the Djibouti. President Draupadi Murmu had visited this place last year, Djibouti. Why? Why every country has a military base over there? Reason being? What could be the reason? See the strategic location, no? Yeah, to guard the trade. And okay, Puntland, disputed area is this. Puntland. This is Somaliland, Ethiopia, Kenya. Why it was in news? It is just because of this recognition efforts. Tell me one island name which hasn't got the recognition and which is anti to Turkey. What the island name? We have covered it in the last class. Cyprus, obviously. Has Israel got recognition in the UN? Yes. Israel has got the recognition in UN. Have you seen this Benjamin Netanyahu speaking in the United Nations General Assembly? Seen, na? Geography, coastal region near Bab el-Mandeb. Strategy for Red Sea trade routes, global power competition in Africa. Fine. Puntland. So this Somaliland is what? It is efforting hard to get recognition. Fine. So if the question comes that where exactly the Somaliland is located, can we answer that? It is west to the Horn of Africa, correct? Or it is north or south to the Djibouti. Does it share border with the Djibouti? Yes. Okay. Afar depression. You can mark it here. Gulf of Aden is there. Arabian plate, Asian plate. Open the map of the Africa. Already opened, na? Okay. Is it physical map or political map? Both, no? Okay. Afar depression is an East African rift system. So why it was in news? It is just because of the plate tectonics. We all know that in the initial phase of the earth, there was just one landmass. What was its name? Pangea. And then it gets segregated into multiple. Okay. So can we say the Gondwana land or this Dharwad plateau was a part of that Pangea? Yes, the ancient rock system. Okay. So this is showing that how the segregation has been happened, because this African plate and the Arabian plate, they are getting what? More segregation. Fine. So this was a single reason why it was in news, due to rift system. Difference between rift and tectonic plate diversion. Is there any difference? Okay, what is the Rift Valley in India? Is there any Rift Valley? Narmada Valley is a Rift Valley. And how the Himalayas formed, we know, very easy. Yeah. Which plate collided when the Himalaya formed? Which two plates? Indian plate. Eurasia and Indian plate. Okay. Fine. And they are still in tension. Senkaku Island, very important. Open the Southeast Asia map. So again, who is claiming this Senkaku Island? What's the dispute in between the two countries? Japan and China. For what? For resources. Also, China is claiming the resource in the South China Sea. See over here. Senkaku Island is north to Taiwan and south to South Korea, and Japan is there. Okay. So Japan, can we say Japan is also an archipelago? So Senkaku Island is it is also located at the strategic location, because when China attacks, they will use this Senkaku Island. Can be. And also it is filled with what? Natural resources. Small uninhabited island, China-Japan conflict, Indo-Pacific geopolitics. Okay, name that island during Indira Gandhi regime, which India gifted or which India which India transferred to Sri Lanka on lease. What was the island name? It was, Prime Minister Modi has talked about it in the Lok Sabha. Kachativu. Very good. Very good. Kachativu. So basically it was on lease, 99 years again. But that 99 years, they permanently shift to that country only. Just like this Diego Garcia is having from it belongs to the Mauritius, but UK and USA both are claiming for that. Japan tells Chinese survey ship to stop operating near disputed Senkaku Island. It is the most recent article. See, March 31, 26. Can be asked. It's an important one. Davos. Location? This one. I was just showing that when it was this was in the news in the March 31st, 26, okay? The recent one. It's nothing but Japan tells Chinese survey ships to stop operating near disputed Senkaku Islands because it's hurting their sovereignty. Japan says this is my islands. I have a claim on that. And China says what? No, this belongs to us. Just like South China Sea. Okay. How many island nations claiming on South China Sea? Philippines, China, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. Do read about it, that how many countries are claiming this South China Sea, that this belongs to us, this belongs to us. Okay, Davos location, Switzerland's Alps mountain. Why it was in news? World Economic Forum 26 was held over here. Mountain resort town, global economic policy discussion was happened, platform for geopolitical regulations. What's the capital of Switzerland? Zurich, France, Germany and Italy. Okay, which country has stepped back, or they just pull out his favor from the axial power at the end time? What was the country among them? During the World War, there was one country who back off. It was Italy. Okay. And the reason for both of the war was Germany. Okay. Okay. Cabo Verde of West Africa. Why it was in news? Climate vulnerability. Volcanic island. Okay. How many active volcanic islands are there in India? Just one? Okay. And there is one point which is completely submerged at tsunami, when the tsunami hit. What was that? The Indra point? It is completely submerged. And it is anticipated that if the climate change hit very badly, there are some island nation or island state in the India which are highly vulnerable. Those are: number one, Mumbai; number second, chain of Daman and Diu, Lakshadweep. No. Let's suppose climate change occurred. Melting of the process of melting of glacier becomes faster. What would happen? Rise in the level of ocean, and at the end result, what will happen? The island will get submerged. Even the Mauritius has raised the plea in the International Court of Justice that please save us. What would happen if this, due to this global warming activity, what if the glacier melts immediately? There would be a huge loss for our economy. Okay? Fine. Senegal, Guinea, Mauritania, Western Sahara. Okay? Here, the Cabo Verde, Cape Verde Peninsula, Atlantic Ocean. Côte d'Ivoire. This is also important. Africa, Mali. Okay. Vanuatu, again important. It was in news due to the climate change and disaster. This is the island who also raised their voice that if the melting of glacier continues, there will be no our existence. Volcanic island chain. Can you tell me where the ring of fire exists? Where is the ring of fire? Pacific Ocean, no? And why it is famous for? Volcanic activity and earthquakes. Japan is one of the victims of this ring of fire. Because it is at the tri-junction knot. Okay. How many plates are moving in this ring of fire? 3 or 4? 4 plates in the ring of fire. Basically, it's an earth-thrown area. More than 3 plates are there. Tri-junction. Socotra Island. Here. Again, important one. Can you mark here where is Djibouti? Here? Djibouti, no? Why Socotra Island was in news? It is just because strategic military interests, unique biodiversity, it is also a biodiversity site, UNESCO site, control over sea lanes. So Socotra Island can also be a good strategy, it can also be utilized by for the military purpose, and it might be using for that. Because this trade route again. Okay. It is in Arabian Sea. Fine. Okay. Marked in the map, na? Kotra. Why this Yemeni island is called the most alien place on the earth? March 27, 2026. Kotra archipelago located in the Indian Ocean has been referred to as the most alien place on the earth. Why? Because the dragon's blood tree is by far the most famous of the plants found on the Socotra. These dragon trees, dragon blood trees. So these are found on this Socotra island. The canopy is quite unique. You can see over here, no? The canopy. This plant has an umbrella-shaped canopy that collects water from mists forming on the mountain's tops. What kind of climatic condition would be there in Socotra Island? Mediterranean? Tropical evergreen? Tropical evergreen? Tropical. Okay. Does India has any tropical evergreen forest? Western Ghats. Are they tropical evergreen or they are equatorial forest? Tropical. Tropical is fine. Tropical evergreen means the trees do not shed their leaves. Fine. Western Ghats is there. And what about the Andaman Nicobar? Are they tropical, equatorial or evergreen? Equatorial. Evergreen or equatorial? See, in Andaman Nicobar, they are tropical evergreen. And if we talk about the Western Ghats, they falls under they are evergreen forest plus they are equatorial as well. Constant rain, okay. No penetrative sunlight, Western Ghats, okay. When the sunlight is not reaching to the ground, you can say it's a dense equatorial forest. Okay, South China Sea, Taiwan, Philippines, Parcel Island, Scarborough Shoal and this Brunei. Mark this entire area is always in the news, okay. Next important, Sahel region, south of Sahara. Why it was in news? It is due to military coup and terrorism. 2 days back, an African leader has asked Turkey to give me some money and a bride so I could get married. There is one African leader is getting famous on YouTube. Okay. It will not come into the exam, just to remember the name. Okay, the Sahel region consists of what? Mauritania, Mali, some part of Niger, some part of Chad and Sudan and Eritrea. Okay, and this on the top of this is Sahara Desert. There was a question in prelims that why always deserts are majorly located on the western side of the country. Correct. Patal Kot Valley. It is located in the MP. And why it was in news? Where the sun doesn't a deep valley in the Madhya Pradesh because of this infrastructure. The BLO in Madhya Pradesh, Patalkot are braving challenge the terrains, including rivers and steep trails. So this becomes also important. This Patalkot Valley. Okay. But do read about the valleys in the Ladakh. Okay. This Karakoram region, KLZ, Karakoram, Ladakh and Zanskar range. Okay. The Parvati Valley. Okay. Okay. Animal species in the news. Great hornbill. So this great hornbill, na, they're having human-like structure, human-like eyes. They have eyelashes, hornbills. Okay, so this hornbill is the uh, state bird of which state? Kerala. Correct. Can we say that this is a migratory bird? Okay. Coastal stretch in a rare phenomenon. The team confirmed the sighting and photographed the bird feeding on a large false so-called tree just 200 meters away from the beach. So, what is the IUCN of status of this hornbill? It is vulnerable. Previously, what happened during earlier time? This bird completed its journey from part of some part of Europe to the Nagaland, India. So what happens is basically Nagas are the tribal people. So they were killing this bird and they were just consuming it. So a team from the west came to the Nagaland. That what exactly happening to this hornbill. They are going, but they are not returning back. So the team from the west visited Nagaland, and they held the awareness campaign that why you should not eat this bird. So somehow they got convinced, the tribal people, and from there only a festival name called the Hornbill Festival, it started. So can you see the dedication of those West people? They came to India just to preserve this bird. Okay. Thrissur, in the rare and striking sighting the great hornbill, also known as typical name, state bird of Kerala. Okay. Usually found in hilly terrains, was spotted in sandy coastal belt between Kodangalur and Kaipangalam. Okay. Kaipamangalam. By researcher, that's it. Distribution, it is found in the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. In the subcontinent, they are found in the few forest areas in the Western Ghats and the forest among the Himalaya. So in Himalaya and Western Ghats can be found both. Obviously, Nagaland is where? Northeast. Right? Okay, so how the birds retrace their path? Obviously, this electromagnetic spectrum. What actually the bird can see? We know there's Earth's having the magnetic field. This is our Earth, north, south. The magnetic fields line travel from north to south. So in birds' eyes, they can see these magnetic lines, and they follow these. This is how they trace their path to go back. Okay. Rhinoceros. Rare shield. See, every day, a new species, new organism, or new animal is discovered in the Western Ghats. But some are important, and it's repeatedly asked in the exams. Rare shield-tailed snake discovered in Kerala. It is non-venomous with striking features and unique characteristics. Date is important, December 22-25. Okay. In 2015, while taking care of this coffee farm, okay. So this is how the snake look like. Typically, this cannot be fall in the category of the snake because it is non-venomous, no? Yeah. but do remember the name, okay? Rhinophis. It was discovered near the Sirwani Hills biodiversity hotspot within the Western Ghats. What are the biodiversity hotspot? Hotspot means having the different diversified areas, and hotspot also where the different species is being found. That is also known to be as a hotspot. Region of Tamil Nadu and Kerala, the species is distinguished by its distinctive coloration and tail shield morphology, contributing to the understanding of the rich subterranean snake diversity in the southern India. Okay. So where this Sirwani hills are where? Where? Western Ghats, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Okay. What is the which is the tallest mountain of Western Ghats? Naimudi. And Eastern Ghats? Any idea? No idea. Okay, where this Jarwa Hills? Javadi Hills. Where? Andhra. Javadi. Okay. Nagtibba. Have a math practice, huh? Okay. Special fund to save purple frog. Living fossil in the Western Ghat. You can see the frog. Why it is called the living fossil? Living fossil means that this frog is taking the genetic information along with him. Why? Because India was separated from the Madagascar, no? And also is separated from this Australian plate. So the fossils of this frog still found in the Australia as well. Also in the Seychelles. Seychelles is an island. Yeah. The purple frog, which is believed to have coexisted with dinosaurs. What is the another species which coexisted with the dinosaur? Still living? Crocodile? Yes, crocs. Has similarities to the Soglosidae family of frog in Seychelles. The Annamalai Hills is one of its prime habitat in Tamil Nadu. For years, the amphibian has been drawing the attention of researchers. See the date, 2320, but it's still relevant. Because there was a question in the last year prelims exam that which technology can be used to prevent the spreading of dengue and chikungunya. Injecting some neutral catalyst to the mosquito. Okay, the exact question I forgot, but there was some question. It was in news for constant 3 to 4 years. Okay. Purple frog is a rare burrowing amphibian endemic to India's Western Ghats. What is endemic? Endemic and pandemic, which is the species which is found only at that particular area only, okay? And pandemic, available throughout the world. Okay. COVID was pandemic, no? Correct. Distinguished by its bloated purple body and pointed snout, it is one of the few surviving members of an ancient frog lineage. Discovery and classification found in Seychelles, already mentioned. Okay. Codegu's ecology in fine fetal as the new damsel flies. They look like dragonflies but are different. While dragonflies are found in sunny, bright atmosphere, the damn flies are found in shady regions. It is sort of luminous as well, damn flies. Okay. Again, the Western Ghats species. Okay. This is the scientific name of this damn flies. Protistica surya pakshi is a species of damselfly in the family, commonly known as shadow damsels. It is endemic to the Western Ghats of India. So this line is only important. It is endemic to the Western Ghats of India. Is Asiatic loin is endemic to India? Double hump camel? Double hump camel. No, it is not from Asia. And was first described in 2022. Species add to the growing list of ordonance unique to this biodiversity hotspot. Okay. Fine. Northeast India yields 13 newly described bush frog species. Hidden amphibians diversity across protected areas unveiled. So this is what this bush frog looks like. Okay. Why we are reading this? So this bush frog are small tree-dwelling amphibians of the genus mainly found mainly in South and Southeast Asia. They are known for their direct developing reproduction. So these bush frog, they skip the stage of tadpole. Got my point? And for their diversity and endemism in the Western Ghats of India. Although it is available throughout the South and Southeast Asia, but in India it is available, it is found in the Western Ghats. And it skipped the stage of tadpole. Okay. There is no tadpole stage in while this gets. Okay. India's natural area losing 15,500 square kilometer to the fast spreading invasive species. Lantana camara, we can say, it is an invasive species. What could be the harmful effect of this? They are extracting the water, natural resources, the minerals from the soil, and other plants are they are remaining malnutrition. So this is how it can contribute to Lantana camara, and there was a tree called eucalyptus. It sucks the huge water from the ground, eucalyptus, and it is of no use. Okay. There we go. Species such as Lantana camara, Chromalena, Odotrata, and Prosophis julifora. These are the important, okay. Studied in the environmental science, no? So what are the remedies to take them down? And how they introduce in India this Lantana camara? It is an invasive species, it is an alien species, but how it came? Can say, okay. Fine. Last, Blue Economy Initiative, as the name suggests. Blue Economy Initiative, particularly Blue Economy 2.0 in India, focus on sustainable climate resilient development of marine resources, emphasizing coastal aquaculture, mariculture, and mangrove restoration. In the last class, we have discussed about what is the importance of this mangrove to prevent floody areas, and it conserve it acts as a biodiversity hotspot as well. Okay. It thrives in the salty water, and it excrete the excess soil from the leaves. It seeks to balance economic growth, improved livelihoods, and oceans health, aiming for a sustainable, not wasteful and eco-friendly maritime economy. Fine. So mangroves are where? Can we say mangroves are available in the Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan? No. Some part of area. Salty part is there, no? Yeah, salt marshes are there. Yeah. The blue economy is a new concept that promotes sustainable use of ocean resources. Why I put this topic here? Because there was a previous year question, what is a blue carbon? It balances economic development with the environmental sustainability, addressing challenges like climate pollution and overfishing to ensure long-term marine resilience. So if the question comes that India has defined a blue economy, no, World Bank. World Bank defines the blue economy as the sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth. And the European Commission defined it as economic activities. So blue economy is basically related with the climate change, pollution and environmental health. And carbon capture. Key components: fisheries, aquaculture, marine biotechnology, ocean, renewable energy, coastal tourism, seabed mining. Permission is required from UN clause. Maritime transport, government initiative is what? Deep Ocean Mission, DOM, Sagarmala. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, important. Coastal Regulation Zone, CRZ, collaboration with the International Seabed Authority. Do read about this Matsya Sampada. What is blue carbon? Again, only mark the relevant one. See, this cannot be the true, na? Carbon present in the atmosphere. Eliminate D. Carbon contained in the petroleum and natural gas? No. That would be the black carbon or brown carbon. Carbon sequestered in the forest, biomass and agricultural soils. How it can be blue? It would be the green, na? Carbon captured by oceans and coastal ecosystems seems to be relevant. Right answer is A. Okay, done. How was the class? Boring? Okay. Huh? Sorry? Yeah, okay. For any doubt, I'm here only, okay? Let's ask if